Hello, and welcome to Sports by Compian. My name, of course, is your host, Stephen Compian. And I am rolling solo today because my co-hosts had other very important matters to attend to, mind you. Also, our guest who was going to come on couldn't make it either. But, luckily for you people, there was just too much happening on this fine sports weekend that Sports by Compian couldn't let you down. And here I am to present to you with all these amazing sports and scores from around the leagues of different stuff that we covered. You people know about it. You're excited about it. Here we are. Let's get into it, guys. Get excited. So starting off, we have some very fascinating scores here from CARFU Rugby. Your very own Rockford Ravens go into Lake County, number 9 overall in the Midwest, and get a huge win. This was an absolute win that nobody but the Rockford Ravens saw coming, baby. We rolled in there with like 19 guys. One of them was our coach, so really 18 guys. And right away, experienced lots of injuries. We lost 3 guys right away to a broken hand. Messed up shoulder with blood injury, but then he came back. Shout out to Nate, our back selector, showing some real leadership out there. Was bandaged up for the rest of the game. The kid takes a serious hit, I guess, around minute 20 or something. Just played the rest of the game with a serious bandage around his whole head. Absolute warrior out there, as were most of the Rockford Ravens who showed up that day. Omeza Sullivan with a fucking amazing first 20 minutes, and then the dude gets his ankle rolled on and just had to play the rest of the game because we had no subs for him. But man, while he was out there, beautiful kicks, ran through a bunch of people for the first try of the game. The boys who were out there just absolutely dominated this first half. I've never seen such good Ravens rugby. We caught this team off guard. They were not ready for it. I think they vastly underestimated the Ravens, and they paid for it in that first half. We went up 21-0. Unfortunately, all these injuries are going to bite you. I mean, Frank experienced an ankle injury, so now we got Frank and Omaze out there with bad ankles. Bob, one of our rookies, is coming in and playing his very first rugby, and it's a tough. Flankwood can be a tough position, especially when you're trying to hold a lead, to be learning on the job. I mean, it's one of the first positions we put most rookies at, but a lot of people underestimate how important a good flanker is, and that does show out there sometimes because. Let me tell you, Lake County came back, man. They fucking tried their damnedest to win this. As you can see, they put up 36 points, all of those in the second half, which, as a defensive guy, I fucking hated. The boys were just tired. It's hard to say too much else. We were banged up and tired, and Skippy, who was supposed to come play maybe 20 minutes for us because he's still experiencing a serious calf injury, had to come on and play 60 minutes instead, and so. You're just banged up all around, but these guys just all kinds of fucking heart, man. Holy cow, these Rockford Ravens. They just would not give up. Didn't matter how many people were on the field, how much we were outnumbered by, because they had a whole 30-some people on their frickin' sideline waiting to go in. Not to mention the fans behind them. They had a good crowd supporting them, but no! These Rockford Ravens wouldn't be denied our victory, dude. We came back in that second half. Mike Buswinger with amazing lines, was returning their kicks all day long. They could not get their kicking game going because Mike was all over it. Georgie was all over the counter rucks, continuously stealing balls here and there, and just an absolute beast throughout the day. We already mentioned Nate just coming back from injury and playing through. Skippy ran through motherfuckers even though he was injured and scored 2 tries, including the game winner. And young Caleb just did his thing as usual, all over the field, hitting people. Had a beautiful line break around minute 70. Continued to fake out people in the back line. I think he broke 2-3 tackles. Yours truly was there in support, as you all rugby players should be when you see your boy breaking the line, because, hey, turned out whenever the fullback finally did catch him, I was just like, hey, Caleb, I'm here. And he threw it to me, and I just ran in and scored. So, second score ever, and it's just because of good support and mostly Caleb breaking the line and doing all the hard work, which is kind of how both of my tries have come. It's kind of nice. All my friends just do all the hard work, and I just get a nice little try. It's a good time. But anyway, guys, this was a massive win for the Rockford Ravens. Biggest one since I've been a part of the Ravens for sure. Puts us in the driver's seat for the playoffs. Well, maybe not the driver's seat, but we certainly have a fighting chance now. We got to put up some points this coming up week against Northwest Indiana. Our boys, the Reapers. Speaking of the Reapers, hosted the Blaze, and not a bad game out of the Reapers. I think they wish they would have given up a few less points, and they're right in this. Their man of the match was Steve Kasich. I don't know. They call him Steve, but like he's like a Greek lad, so his name is actually something completely different. But anyway, he was man of the match apparently. He's a good old freight train, so he had a good time running through the Blaze. We'll see if he can replicate that against the Rockford Ravens, because we're coming in hungry, and I think we're getting a lot of the boys back. Of course, injuries are nagging, but weddings are coming, but we're getting some of the guys back. I think it's going to look good. And then, the Riot took it to the Woodsman. Riot have only given up 46 points all season long. So it's going to be hard to catch those motherfuckers. Moving on to some rugby that is much higher level, of course. Italy, Uruguay. This game was actually pretty close for a while. Uruguay was, pretty close to taking it, actually, but they just couldn't quite hang on. I mean, it comes down to that Italy's been playing against high-level rugby for a long time, so they're not going to panic. Those subs, they've shown that the subs coming in and the finishers, as my team likes to say, the finishers coming on for Italy have proven to be good all year long, so it doesn't surprise me here that they were able to finish the job against Uruguay. Apparently had some costly yellow cards as well. Shout out Squidditch Rugby with all that good information. France just absolutely destroyed Port Nubia, like 96. They came close to putting up triple digits. So good for Nibia, I guess, that they held it under triple digits. Argentina and Samoa. This was a battle, it looks like. A good old tight one here. Full disclosure, your boy didn't watch too much rugby or stuff in general. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, freaking Argentina, they find a way to win this game, but Samoa certainly took it to them. Nice tight game. What do you like to see actually in these World Cups? And then Georgia, Portugal with a draw. And, just going through the highlights of this one, it's hard to tell what really happened, but shout out to Portugal. This is huge for them. Coming into the World Cup, they were absolutely targeting Georgia for either a win or, like this, a draw. I'm sure they would have preferred to win, but this is still massive for them. Both teams had a chance to win this with kicks. Georgia, right before regulation was over, had a chance to, with a try, if they could have got their conversion, they win by 2. Weren't able to convert. And then right around, it was right before regulation as well. Portugal gets a penalty right in Georgia territory, but they were, as well missed their kicks. So, it ended up being a draw. I'm sure Portugal's more happy with that than Georgia is for sure. And England just absolutely destroyed poor Chile. Left them scoreless. Not very nice to my boy Rodrigo Hernandez. Is it? Sounds right. Anyway, Chile is struggling out here. They've really only scored 22 points so far in the Rugby World Cup. And they're probably easier game with Samoa. I don't know how it's going to go from here on out, boys. Good luck, Chile. Actually, fuck you guys. Took a U.S. spot. No. I do like Chile. Good luck, guys. Anyway, so we got Ireland, South Africa. Absolute beauty of a game. This one was just high-level rugby at the best level, dude. These finishers come in, and they're great players, too. It's all the best of the best, all playing against each other. And, man, it was a good game. Tight to the very end. Ireland just finds a way to get some kicks, get some penalties, make their conversions. They find Matt Hansen, the guy with the mustachio. They've got Mr. Mustachio out there on the wing. He brings it in for a try. One of the only tries of the game. I forget how South Africa scored, probably off of a scrum. But, their scrums were so powerful coming right through that Irish front, and it was a beautiful high-level game. South Africa was going to wish they had a couple of those kicks back. Rough day at the kickoff is for them. But overall, good game for both these teams. Scotland takes it to Tonga. Nice convincing win for them there. And then a win that a lot of people probably didn't see coming as much would be Wales destroying Australia. I think I watched a good portion of this game, if not all of it. And basically, Wales just kept on getting into good position. So right away, they lose their fly half, and the replacement fly half comes on. Guy just continued to knock kicks all day long. He probably put 3 or 4 kicks. They continued to get penalties in Australia's territory. Australia just looked lost. They couldn't get anything going offensively. They changed out their fly half. Didn't seem to change much. They couldn't get it out to their powerful wing out there with awesome beard. That dude's great. He had a couple drops, and they struggled all day. Couldn't get it going, and really, really rough loss for them. They're probably going to be out in pool phase. Eddie George is probably going to need some time to establish stuff over there. It's not too surprising. Got some more games coming up. Uruguay and Libya. Libya will fight for their very lives here. We'll see if they can keep this game close. Japan Samoa is going to be very, very good. That'll be an interesting game. And then New Zealand, Italy. Good luck, Italy. We believe in you to not get crushed. Right, Sports by Compian fans? Yeah, I guess we believe that. Oh, Australia, Portugal. So you got a damaged, wounded Portugal going against a very excited Australia going against a very excited Portugal team right now. Could be interesting. As well as South Africa, Tonga. That's going to be interesting. I hope Tonga just brings it. Anyway, moving on to some college football. Not going to cover all of it because there's just so much. And, of course, I didn't watch much of this. But going into some games that kind of matter a little bit. So, Ohio State is able to beat Notre Dame. I saw most of this game. Defense has struggled. Notre Dame's defense gave them a lot of opportunities to win this, but their quarterback just could not seem to get it going. Ohio State's quarterback, on the other hand, found a couple deep guys when he needed to at the very end of the game and puts them in a position to win. Florida State finds an overtime win against Clemson. They had to come back in this one. Real big comeback for them. I think Clemson was up like 14-0 or something at halftime. I don't know, maybe 21-0. Either way, big comeback for Florida State. They win it when they went with a walk-off touchdown. Penn State absolutely destroyed Iowa, 31-0. Damn, Iowa. Speaking of people getting destroyed, that was very sad. Colorado just absolutely washed by Oregon. I guess the dream's sort of ending over there, kind of sad. And then Washington State with a big upset over Oregon State. Look at this, 38-35. Good for them. And yeah, Alabama finds a way to win against Ole Miss, 24-10. Pretty convincing fashion, actually. And good old Marshall with a win over Virginia Tech. Let's go, Marshall. Absolutely. Gotta love it. Thunder and Herd just out here doing Thunder and Herd stuff. I think Michigan State got their ass kicked this week. Or was that last week? How did we do this week, Michigan State? Do we rally? Do we make things happen for ourselves? Where even are you guys? It's crazy out here. Can't even find the poor Michigan State Spartans. So much disrespect. Oh, here we are. Yeah, no, we got our ass kicked. Maryland, handily had them. Oh, well. Well, that's college football for you. Moving on. NFL. So there's a bunch of games here, guys. I'm sure most of them you've heard about, talked about, seen, heard the news. So we're not going to go into too much detail because, I got chicken to cook. Anyway, moving on. So what I'm saying here is that the Giants don't seem to know how to play offense right now. Obviously, you're going against a very good San Francisco defense. They probably get down early. It's hard to be too mad about this. But, yeah, Giants are struggling. They're looking for air. I don't know if they're going to find it. I think they got a tough game coming up. I forget who, but find out in the Pick'em League, which will be tomorrow released, I think. No, so this will be released tomorrow. And then the day after that will be the Pick'em League in time for you guys to make your selections for NFL. I'm kind of falling off a little bit, but Taylor's still carrying the banner. Either way, you guys should absolutely pay attention, subscribe, do all that kind of good stuff so you know when this important content comes out. And this was a huge upset. Absolutely messed up my pick'ems. At Indianapolis Colts, go ahead and beat Baltimore. Dude, what is going on with Lamar Jackson? Is he going to, do quarterback stuff? Is he just going to be a runner? He had a good day. He ran for 2 touchdowns, 300 yards overall. And, I'm being too hard on him. He's not the problem. But, yeah, Gardner Minshew does just enough to get this team to win. Zach Moss had a big day. They pretty much they just gave him as many carries as he possibly needed. They're like, Zach, how many carries do we need to give you? He's like, 30. I need 30 carries. They're like, okay, Zach. This was a win. I think I picked Tennessee for this one, which is really sad for me. I definitely misread this situation. Ryan Tannehill got his teeth kicked in. Terrible day for him. Terrible day for Derrick Henry. They had to get away from the run early, it looks like. Deshaun Watson actually looking like a decent quarterback out here with almost 300 yards, 200 passing. Ford had 10 carries for 18. That is really rough. But Pierre Strong coming on strong, as they say. Yeah, you guys. Did you guys see what I did there? Well, anyway. Look at all this information. No. Stop it. All right. Atlanta Falcons get kind of humbled by the Detroit Lions. Not too bad. This Atlanta defense still seems to be pretty frisky. They're not giving up too many points this year. Desmond Ridder couldn't quite get it going, but not a terrible game out of him. But B.J. Robinson definitely couldn't get it going. 10 carries for 33 yards. Tyler Aguilar even worse. 7 carries for fucking 12. Jesus, Tyler. So yeah, that's not. They couldn't get their run game going, which is their bread and butter. Kyle Pitts loses 4 on 1 carry. Had 5 receptions for 41 yards. So like when they do throw it, they're trying to throw it to Pitts. But God, I wish that guy was on a different team. It'd be nice if there was more tight ends in fantasy football that weren't terrible. Jared Goff, a kind of mediocre day out of him, but does enough to get the win. Looks like they're starting to give Gibbs the bulk of the carries here. Does that mean I wonder if Montgomery's got to be hurt then, I guess. I mean, anyway, St. Brown with another massive day. 9 receptions, 102 yards. Apparently they can't cover this guy. Pretty scary stuff. And then this game, another one that messed up my pick'ems. As you guys may recall, the Packers fans talked me into picking the Saints. Fucking well played, Taylor. Well played. But, yeah, the Saints' offense is just terrible right now. Like, they have a great defense, but they can't seem to get their offense going. And looks like Jameis Winston actually came into this game. That's pretty amusing. So Derek Carr has been kind of a disappointment over there for sure. Then he needs to figure his life out, or he's going to quickly find himself out. Meanwhile, Jordan Love, solid day. Not too great, not too bad. I also had some carries for another carry touchdown. So, yeah, pretty good day out of him. He needs some more help out of A.J. Dillon. 11 carries for 33 yards isn't what I like to call a super successful run game. Meanwhile, a massive upset also screwed up my pick'ems. Houston goes ahead and destroys the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, what the hell is going on with Trevor Lawrence? This is getting alarming, Trevor. Not a terrible day out of him, but you just like to see these guys, not lose to the Texans. C.J. Stroud, massive day. 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. Of the 2 quarterbacks coming out. I mean, honestly, they both look pretty decent right now, but C.J. Stroud is looking real good out here, man. Another 3 carries for him. Devin Singletary with 41 yards. Not much of he was doing all right with the carries he got, I guess. So, yeah, massive upset for Houston. Good for them. I'm sure their defense was a huge part of that. And then this game. This game, I saw it, and I was like, wait, what? And I had to, double-check a couple places to make sure it wasn't crazy. I'm like, is that 70-20? And yes, it was. It was 70-20. It's just funny that they brought Mike White in there. Mike White! And he pretty much just torched them for yet another touchdown. It's like, that's pretty hilarious. Oh, man. Poor Denver. It's just rough to be a Denver fan right now. Like, damn, you guys just got torched by 50 points. Russell Wilson, not a terrible day out of him, but he just cannot keep up with this ridiculous Miami offense. And maybe that's what you do. You just chalk it up to this Miami offense is insane right now. Devontae Aiken, sorry, bro. Either way, dude, they couldn't tackle the guy on Sunday. He just ran all over them, an 11-point average, 2 touchdowns, 200 yards. Raheem Mostert also went off. They couldn't stop Christopher either. It's ridiculous out here. You couldn't stop the run even a little bit. What happened to that good Denver defense? This is quite embarrassing. All kinds of records. First since the 70s or 60s. I forget. Either way, fucking forever, dude. Denver, get it together. Los Angeles Chargers find a way to win this game in a pretty risky one. I was a little nervous for my pick'ems, but Justin Herbert with fucking 47 attempts, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Keenan Allen finds a touchdown pass as well. They could not get the run going even a little bit. Holy shit, Joshua Kelly. Terrible day out of him. Justin Herbert only had, he got a couple good carries. Keenan Allen, 11 receptions, 218 yards, and he threw a touchdown. So if you started Keenan Allen in fantasy, he just killed it for you. Mike Williams also with a big day. Josh Palmer caught a touchdown. Meanwhile, I'm not surprised to see it. Kirk Cousins with another solid day. He had 50 attempts, 367 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, Vikings fan, I'm sure you guys probably know better than I do, but it seems like he's playing okay. Doesn't seem like he's too much of the problem. Even Matterson had a pretty good day. Justin Jefferson did his thing, 150 yards, touchdown. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Minnesota. This is probably one of the best 0-3 teams we've seen. But I think they're going to get right back on track this coming week. New England goes ahead and finds a way to win against the New York Jets. Not too high of a scoring game one way or the other. Zach Wilson at least took care of the ball. Didn't throw a ton of interceptions, it looks like. I don't know if he fumbled it. Mac Jones does enough to get his team to win. This was a battle of defenses. And that's all I have to say about that. Meanwhile, Washington's defense tried their best, it looks like, but it's hard to do anything when your offense scores 3 points. So, rough day at the office for the Commanders, especially for Sam Howell. 4 interceptions, Sam. Welcome to the NFL, bud. That's one of the first, rookie games I guess you're going to see out of him. Bound to happen eventually, but rough day for him for sure. Josh Allen's still not looking crazy out here, 218 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But I'm sure he'll figure it out by the time it gets to be important. Seattle Seahawks win this game, but man, Carolina's looking frisky out here. The Panthers aren't giving up without a fight on too many of these. The Panthers start Andy Dalton for this game, who was pretty solid, it looks like. 58 attempts for Andy, jeez. 361 yards, 2 touchdowns. Adam Thielen had one of those for 145 yards as well. Adam still got it, man. Meanwhile, Miles Sanders is struggling to find any relevance down there in Carolina. He got a touchdown, but 9 carries for 24 yards is not what I would call a good rushing attack. Moving on, Dallas gets humbled by the Arizona Cardinals. What the heck happened here, Cowboys? Dak Prescott, 215 yards. Whatever. The stats are the stats, guys. You know what they are, but just what's going on with Dak? Can he get this going? Can he do it when it matters? Tony Pollard with a pretty solid day. It seems like most of the offense is moving well. Joshua Dobbs not even too threatening on the passing attack, but it looks like James Conner was able to move the ball really well, and Joshua Dobbs helped him out with a couple big runs too. So, rough day at the office for the Cowboys. I think now that you got that first loss out of the way, you can kind of just refocus and maybe not be terrible. Who knows? Justin Fields. Tough day at the office again for Mr. Justin. Not only he didn't throw for over 100 yards, he looks like he was the number 1 carrier for them, though. Khalil Herbert continues to do not much of anything with his season, although they're not using him much, so it's not much his fault. DJ Morris finds a way to stay relevant with the only touchdown reception of the game for the Bears. Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns on the day, 272. Doesn't look like he had to try too hard. They brought in Gabbert to finish it out. That's where Blaine Gabbert ended up. Missed you, buddy. Oh, wow, you threw 2 interceptions. Damn, bro. Rough day for you. Isaiah Pacheco with a pretty solid day. 15 carries, 62 yards, touchdown. Looks like they found some relevance through the run game, but it came through tough sledding, and it looks like a lot of it. Pittsburgh and Los Angeles. So Las Vegas, sorry. I did predict this one right. Kenny Pickett's continued to find people deep for long passes. Jimmy Garoppolo continues to look uncomfortable and not very good. He's just basically just threw to Devontae Adams all day. 13 receptions for Devontae, 2 touchdowns, 172 yards. So, I think if he doesn't go off, whatever. Jacoby Myers also had a pretty solid day, 7 receptions, 85 yards. That's pretty good. He had some nice catches out there. But yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo kind of still struggling out there for sure. Meanwhile, Kenny Pickett looking good. Frankie's Bet looking good. Najee Harris still not looking great. That's for sure. 19 carries, 60-something yards. Speaking of things not looking great, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did not look great on Monday Night Football. Granted, our defense, I felt like, gave us some opportunities to win this game. They kept the Eagles to a lot of field goals. They had 2 interceptions, which pretty much the first interception 2 plays later, Baker throws his interception, and the second interception a play later we give up a safety. So it's just, dude, oh my God, the play calling was pretty rough, and we could not find a run game all night. Mr. Rashad White with 14 carries for 38 yards. He also caught a pass and was tracked from behind, just fucking absolutely obliterated and lost the ball. It's hard to blame him too much, but holy shit, dude. That Philly defense looks fucking scary. There's going to be a lot of credit going to the Philly offense. They look so great. It's yeah, maybe when you're out there, fucking every single fucking drive. Most of the game was just watching the Eagles offense play against the Buccaneers defense, and the defense would give up tons of yards, but they would hold up in the red zone. So, I felt like they were giving us the chance to win this, and our offense just refused to do anything. Baker was uncomfortable all day. No run game really didn't help. He throws his first interception of the season, which we all knew was coming as soon as the commentators brought it up. Not to mention this is actually a good game. Team. Dude, Mike Evans had 3 crucial drops. Like, 2 of them were first downs and the other was a touchdown. So it's like, dude, you got to play better in these big-time games, Mike. He came back in the fourth quarter, pretty much garbage time, and rounded down there, got a score, but I kind of walked out to talk to my buddy, and when I came back, the game was over. So I suspect they just weren't able to get the ball back, or they lost it again. But either way, Rashad White, really rough game out of him, man. I really hope he can be more because he is not doing much. I felt like the commentators were really annoying on this one. Like, they're like doing their damnedest to get us to turn off the TV. It's like, shouldn't you be trying to keep me watching this game? Like, they're super disrespectful. Like, even like at one point the Eagles were doing some kind of weird play that Jalen Hurts got sacked on, and they're like, I don't even know why you would show that play with where the score is and everything. It's like, shut up, dude. So whoever those commentators were, fucking kick rocks. Anyway, another game I was wrong on as well was they're not going to show it here, but it's the Rams Cincinnati. I should have just believed in Joe Burrow. I didn't. Joe Burrow finds a way to win there at the end. Very tight game. I believe it was the last minute field goal or so, but yeah, you call them wrong sometimes out here. It does happen. Not to me often, but I have been known to call a couple wrong games here and there. But, Sports and Compian, we're trying our best out here, which is why you guys should continue to tune into us for vague sports coverage about teams you may or may not care about, which we'll go into tons of detail about, and other teams that you probably care about, we'll gloss over. It's going to be great. Either way, you guys should definitely tune in to more episodes of us, Sports by Compian.